As we approach the highly anticipated July launch of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, Samsung is proudly marketing its next-gen foldable as the thinnest foldable smartphone in the world, a claim that echoes Oppo's recent promotional strategy for the Oppo Find N5. But here's the twist. Recent evidence suggests these official dimensions might not be telling the whole truth. According to well-known French leaker Steve Hemmerstoffer, aka at OnLeaks, who sparked a wave of investigation by questioning Samsung's published measurements of the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and its successor, things just don't add up, and he's not alone. His early measurements, based on a CAD module back in February, showed the Galaxy Z Fold 7 to be 4.5 millimeters thick when unfolded. But then, trusted leaker Ice Universe chimed in with an even thinner figure of 3.9 millimeters, creating confusion among fans and tech enthusiasts alike. But that's when YouTuber Shane Craig stepped in and revealed the reality behind these measurements. And what he found was eye-opening. Samsung, it turns out, measures the thickness of the unfolded Fold 7 from the edge of the flexible display only, ignoring the 0.5 millimeters bezel that surrounds it and prevents the screens from making contact when folded. So, while Samsung claims 3.9 millimeters, the actual usable thickness of the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is closer to 4.45 millimeters. That same deception carries over when the phone is folded. It doesn't double to 7.8 millimeters as one might expect on a 3.9 millimeters figure. It's actually 8.9 millimeters thick, and that discrepancy tells a story about how OEMs are stretching the truth to make the devices sound more revolutionary than they really are. And Samsung's not the only one doing this. Oppo's Find N5, which also touts record-breaking thinness at 4.2 millimeters when unfolded, was measured at 4.56 millimeters in reality. Again, not matching its official specification. Even the current Galaxy Z Fold 6, advertised as 5.6 millimeters thick when unfolded, has been proven to measure at 6.2 millimeters. That's a significant difference, especially when such small margins are being used to claim a technological edge. So what does all this mean? Well, it suggests that major manufacturers like Samsung and Oppo may be using selective measurement techniques to highlight only the most flattering specs, possibly excluding essential components like bezels or hinge gaps, which still contribute to the actual bulk of the phone. This explains why Galaxy Z Fold 7's thickness varies between the datasheet and what users actually experience in hand. And this trend reflects a growing concern within the foldable market. Manufacturers competing to outdo each other on thinness, while sacrificing transparency. But why does this even matter? For starters, foldables are already under scrutiny for being bulky compared to traditional smartphones, and many consumers make purchase decisions based on how pocketable and lightweight these devices are. If the claimed dimensions don't reflect reality, buyers may feel misled after spending close to $1,900 on a flagship foldable. What's more, as competition in the foldable segment heats up, with Apple reportedly testing prototypes, Google improving the Pixel Fold, and OnePlus entering the game, these misleading spec wars could erode consumer trust. So, where do we go from here? Industry insiders are now calling for a more standardized approach to measuring foldables, ensuring that thickness includes bezels, hinge mechanisms, and any protective gaps. And as leakers like Steve Hemmerstoffer and Ice Universe keep the pressure on, it's likely that future reviews will scrutinize these measurements more carefully than ever. Ultimately, while Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold Mate 7 still end up being among the thinnest foldables on the market, the real numbers paint a less glamorous picture than the marketing brochures suggest. With measurements closer to 4.45 millimeters unfolded and 8.9 millimeters folded, the Z Fold 7 isn't quite the miracle of slim engineering we were promised, but it's still a marvel of modern design, just not as skinny as it claims. So the next time a company boasts about being the thinnest in the world, take a moment to look beyond the spec sheet, because what you see might not be what you actually get. And that's a reminder to always question the numbers, especially in a market where image is everything and reality can sometimes be just a few millimeters away from the truth. For more brutally honest, in-depth tech coverage like this, where we cut to the hype and bring you the facts, don't forget to subscribe to TechVerse, your go-to source of the latest in smart devices, leaks, and real talk from the tech world.